So now you can email market to them. You can upload that list to Facebook. You can upload that list to LinkedIn. You can retarget them, and you are in control without having to spend a dime.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the High Level Spotlight Sessions, where we showcase awesome marketers doing awesome marketing. Today we are joined by Lee Goff, who was the founder of a seven-figure agency. He sold it, and now he runs marketingagency.com, which I just think is such a monster domain. Lee, thanks for coming on to the show.
Marketingagencycoach.com.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Marketing Agency Coach.
I wish I had marketingagency.com. That'd be beast mode. But yeah, marketingagencycoach.com is a good one too. So
really good. Now, how did you get that? Did you have to pay a fortune, or did you get it long ago?
No, I got it. Actually, I got it when I first started the coaching business, and that was early 2018. I built all my courses and content. I spent an entire year in 2017. So I probably bought that domain name in early 2018. And I was shocked because at that time, there were already 4 or 5 other nice size, established coaches out there that didn't snack it up. So I was
nicely done.
I got it all over it. So now I'm ranking keyword rich. A lot of people say keyword rich domain names don't help. I adamantly disagree with that. I think they do, and it's working. So I'm outranking most people. Just I think a lot for that. So.
That's awesome. Well, Lee, take me back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit about the agency that you had and that you exited on.
Okay. It all started because we got ripped off. I was working for another company in Oklahoma City. And as we know, there are some unethical, at that time, it's better now, but at that time, there were a lot of unethical people in our industry. And so we fell victim to one of those. And honestly, it pissed me off so much. I knew I could do it better. So I started my own agency. And that actually is that painting right there. My mom's an artist. And so she does a custom painting for my businesses. She owes me one for my real estate side. She hasn't got that done yet. But Get You Wired right there is, you can kind of see a purse string on.
Yeah, I can see Wired.
Purse over here. And over there you can't read. I think you can read it's fuzzy, but it says Wall Street Journal and Coca-Cola, World Bank. So that's big business. It's a small business. And that is me leveling the playing field. Bringing the same tools, right? Bringing the same tools that big business had, the Fortune 500 companies, over to the small business community. And there's a gold string that's pulling money from big business into the purses of small business, right? So leveling the playing field and getting some of that money into what I deem to be the right hands and that small business owners. So we started that business in 2003. I started that business in 2003, March of 2003. Took off, not because of, I can't write one line of code. I still to this day can't really build a website. It's not, I'm not a technical person at all. But the way I communicated about business really resonated. They loved how I could bridge the gap between the technical world, which is mystery world to them, right? Mm-hmm. And the old school business world. And that kind of is what got it started. That kind of just kept us going from there. And then jump ahead 5 years, we're a little shy of the $500,000 mark. I don't know, 9 or 10 employees, 7 or 8 employees. And I literally decided to gut the entire company in 2008 as the financial markets were crashing and burning around us, right? Mm-hmm. I take the bold decision to literally gut the company. I ended up in a place where we're doing a lot of custom websites, and I wasn't a big fan of that. And I wanted to get into marketing. And so that's what I did, is we dove headfirst into the Infusionsoft community, and our niche became that platform. We became the 800-pound gorilla in that space, built the world's largest agency in the entire Infusionsoft Kpi ecosystem. And I wound up building that up with huge monthly recurring revenue checks coming in. We work with really big names, like Damon John, Jay Abraham, the Country of Fiji, Guerrilla Marketing, Infusionsoft Corporate. And so all of these companies would use us to help fulfill it.
Wow.
Jump ahead another, almost 8 years from there. We'd broken through the multiple 7-figure mark, and I decided, hey, you know what? I'm done. What am I going to do when I grow up? So I exited out of that, successful exit, and took some time off. Had some health issues. Stress will kill you, ladies and gentlemen. So it's a real thing. Okay, it's not just in books. It'll get you. And so I had a heart attack, and so I kind of wanted to build up my health back, and And then I gave an entire year of 2017 dedicated to doing nothing but building the world's most comprehensive, dedicated to agency coaching, the business side of things, not teaching them how to do Facebook ads and Google ads and things like that. But I mean the real world operational business, legal documents, phase sign-offs, change orders, proposal templates, KPIs, all of that stuff, the business, the nuts and the bolts of the business side. And so we spent an entire year in 2017 focused on that. We created over 80 tools, 12 courses, and it literally is a roadmap, a step-by-step roadmap to help agency owners break through that 7 figures. And that's
wow, that's a great story. Glad to hear, obviously, that your health rebounded. You're looking good.
Thank you.
So today we're going to talk about a couple of the things that you teach, right? So we've got 3 topics that we're going to talk about that I think our community will be excited to hear from somebody who's been there, done that, and exited. I think it's, we talk about it a lot. It's pretty rare to exit as a digital marketing agency if you're not doing things the right way, right?
Very.
So let's start at the beginning, lead harvesting. Talk to me about this piece of the puzzle.
Okay. Well, it's kind of one of the unsung heroes. A lot of people, I hear a lot out there about, oh, all you need is a contact us form, and make the contact us form really complex. So that way, only if the people who really love you, will take the time to fill out that form. And granted, that you do have that. I'm not saying you don't have that, but lead harvesting is a formula that my marketing mentor taught me, J. Conrad Levinson, the father of guerrilla marketing. I was blessed to be able to teach. I was taught directly by him, and like at his house, and to have that level of genius pouring into you was a life-changing thing for me. And he taught me this formula. It's called 92%, 4%, 4%. It's called the lead harvesting formula. And successful companies focus on the 92%. So let me explain what that means. Let's say in your target audience you have 100 people, just for easy math, okay? Out of those 100 people, 92% of them are not going to buy anytime soon. It'll be 6 months to 2 years, 3 years before they buy. Think of the newlywed couple just got married, want to have kids 2 or 3, 4 years down the road, but they don't want kids now, right? It doesn't stop them from kind of researching how much college costs, baby names, strollers, or a little more real world example to a lot of digital agency owners out there, that Tesla you've all been dreaming about. You probably can't afford that damn $125,000 Tesla right now, but that does not stop you from going to Tesla.com and building out your dream Tesla and even saving it and putting it on your screensaver, right? Okay, right? Well, a lot of us have done that. That's that 92%. That's that tire kicking phase. In that phase, we freely give up our name and email, but we will not give up our phone number. We will not schedule a time. We will not fill out a contact us form. That's reserved for the front 8%. And that's broken down into 2 4 percentile, kind of in the middle. You got what's called the in-depth research phase. Those people are narrowing down to the final 3 candidates that they're actually going to reach out, make contact with, and get a proposal from. And then, of course, the front 4 is they've gotten the 3 proposals, and they're just narrowing. They're about to make a decision in the next 30 to 45 days. So all of this should sound kind of familiar to you out there, because it's a very, very similar process that pretty much every human on the planet does. But whenever you focus just strictly on like a contact us form with all this information, you literally leave 92, and I would even say some of that in-depth research phase, upwards to 92 to 95% of all opportunities to somebody else, your competitors. Your competitors are taking those. So here's what happens. The lead harvesting formula coaches you on diversifying your lead magnets and be able to put them out there really, really quick. You have to harvest on that 92%, because that 92% will bubble up and become your front 8% in short order, in 6 months to 2 years, and it'll go by about that quick. So if you focus on getting those name and emails right there, and you drip to them, and you remain top of mind, and you get them into a Facebook group, and you get them on multiple channels, and you're just there, kind of behind the scenes, you're imprinting your name, your brand, your products, whatever it is you want to imprint. Now, jump ahead 2 years, they want to have that baby or get that Tesla. They will look up, they will look to the left, and they will recall from their long-term memory the brand that's been imprinted the most. And if you harvested that 92%, you're that brand.
I love it.
They will literally go into their inbox. They'll type in the company name, whatever it is. They will pull it up, and you will see them in your CRM and the activity feeds. Out of the blue, somebody will just pop up, and there will be 7 or 8 clicks. They downloaded, they went through and clicked all the emails they've gotten from you that they didn't delete. Well, that's a hot lead. They just raise their hand and say, "I want to give you money." That's what they just did.
I love this. This is
so when you focus on that 92% and you diversify your lead magnets on the pain points that your target audience experiences on a day-to-day basis, something magical happens. And if I had the time, I'd actually pull up some CRMs and show you how it works. These guys and girls were getting maybe 2 to 3 leads a month, or 3 to 4, whatever it is, depending on the size of the agency. You implement the lead harvesting formula, and literally it will double and triple with your already existing traffic overnight, just like that.
So to reiterate, what I'm hearing is multiple lead magnets with a very low barrier. Make them about the pain points, and the barrier is just email, if not name and email.
Name and email. Then you get into what's called the prospect vetting, because I don't want to spend time talking all of these 92%. They're not ready yet. I don't want to waste my time. They don't want me to waste their time, and I don't want to waste my time. Right? So you got to be smarter. So you have what's called prospect vetting questions. So name and email pops up and says, "Hey, my little automation ninjas are sending your lead magnet right now. It's going to take about 45 seconds to get over there." I even put in like a 47 seconds, some kind of just a number, like I got 43 seconds. Really? They're actually waiting. They're counting that. And so, but you got them hooked now. They know that they got about 45 seconds. Just enough time to answer 5 questions. And it's radial. Yes, no. It's not. You're not text forming it. You're just. Do you have a budget? Yeah. Have you ever hired an agency? Yes. Very simple questions. And then it gets to the end of it, and it says, "Thank you very much. We have found, while you're waiting on the lead magnet, the people who complete these questions also have other more in-depth questions. If that is you, there's a place to put your phone number right there. Right. And you put a phone number, and then that creates the opportunity or the deal in your CRM, notifies you, pick up the phone and call. So now you're still getting the 92%, but you're prospect vetting the ones who are in the front 8%. So you're not losing the people who are ready to talk and buy now. You're just gaining the 92%. So now you can email market to them. You can upload that list to Facebook. You can upload that list to LinkedIn. You can retarget them, and you are in control without having to spend a dime to acquire them, because you've already acquired their contact information when they were in the 92%. And their actions told you whether or not they're actually ready to buy. In other words, whether they're a buying unit. So you didn't waste any of your time. You got a cool process. You got a future sale. Okay. And now you have the buying units coming to you and future sales.
Sorry, my internet just froze up for a sec.
Yeah, I saw something happen. Something glitched. So.
Okay, but all right, great. So to reiterate, I love it. You've got multiple lead magnets. You're collecting very little data up front. Then you hit them with a survey while they're waiting on the magnet.
Yep.
Get more info, and if they qualify, then you have them put in the phone number to create the opportunity.
That's correct. That's exactly correct. So you let their actions dictate your response, because we all know prospects lie. Okay, so they will ask for a proposal knowing they don't have any money, just because they don't want to say no to you. They want to be nice, right?
Sure.
So don't take that out. Let their actions determine it. And that lead harvesting formula, which is also part of my agency sales system, that's one of the 4 pillars of that system. But man, I'm telling you, it can change your life. It's a really, really, really cool thing that works unbelievably well. So
I 100% agree. And so a lot of what we do at HighLevel, one of our core tenets is to be the best automation to convert leads to customers and build automation and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of times I'll have customers say, well, what happens when we get to a world where everyone's using HighLevel and I'm competing against somebody using the same white labeled platform? And I say, it's not the platform, it's what you put into it. It's the creativity of the nurture.
Yeah, I mean, by the way, everybody's using the web. Everybody's using digital. Everybody's using a car. Everybody's using, that's welcome. That's the way it works, right? What separates the people who are going to be successful and the ones who are not is the quality of content and how you engage and the type of education and the type of processes and systems that you have in place. This is a lot of people out there now are coaching that building a business is easy. And that's obviously not the case. Ask anyone who's ever actually done it, not somebody who read a book or took a photo across the front of a Lamborghini to make themselves look cool.
Right.
I mean, somebody who's actually done it and put in the decade to do it, okay, they will tell you it's probably one of the hardest things they've ever done. And so
I'm always surprised at how little effort gets put into that piece of it, because it is a creative piece. And I think people might get, hit that creative barrier and they freeze up, but that's where the magic happens, right? So it sounds like in your program, you work with people on the creative side of it, really. I mean, that's what we're talking about here.
It really is. Again, I mean, the CRM is very much the hammer and the nails, right?
Exactly.
Where you put the wood and what type of wood that you want on your custom home. That's you. That's all you, right? Okay, you get to have a progressive home or a rustic home or a lake house or a mountain house or a beach house. That's your deal. Same exact thing applies in your CRM. Let your personality shine on through, and don't worry about if you're going to upset a few people with your personality. That's perfectly fine.
I love that.
Okay, as a matter of fact, you want to. If you're not pissing somebody off, then you're not doing it right.
That's an interesting point, because you're not far enough in the direction that you want to go, right? You're sort of straddling the fence.
Exactly. No, I mean, listen, find people who appreciate your messaging. Me, hey, look, here it is. If you haven't figured it out, I'm brash. I'm rough around the edges. Okay, I cuss a lot, but I get unbelievable results. Okay, so if you're out there and you're an agency owner and you get upset by silly little things, please do not fill out one of my forms. I don't want you to.
Right.
Okay, you will not like working with me. I'm telling you, you won't. Okay, now if you want somebody to hold you accountable and call you out when you do stupid stuff, I'm your boy blue. I'm the guy. I'm going to get it done. Okay, does that mean? And that's fine with me. I'm okay with that. Some coaches want to get everybody, and I have found now that I'm coaching agencies, there is a big chunk of agency owners out there that get caught up more in the emotional side or the status of owning a business than actually running a business.
Right. So tell me about what you call CTA Management System. What are we talking about here?
Okay, so the ability to be able to take your lead magnets and deploy them on your website really, really quick, or in a funnel really, really quick. And HighLevel does this, brilliantly. And I just got to be talking to Sean about this. They're going to be beefing that level up even more after the first year. A lot of really exciting things coming down. So pay attention to that out there. And it's going to allow you to take these lead magnets, the diversification of lead magnets, and deploy them to your HighLevel site, or whatever site you're using, WordPress site, very quickly. And that's very important. Okay, so come up with a new lead magnet and I want to put it on these 3 pages, but you don't want to have to use a technical team that takes a month to get it done. You just need to throw it up there really quick, run some ads to it, or throw out an email blast to it, or some way to get some traffic to it to see if it's a good lead magnet. It's a good messaging, right? And so with the ability to be able to pretty much embed web forms anywhere, and again, I don't want to let too much out of the bag because Sean and I talked about it, but some of the exit intents and things like that are coming down the pipe, okay, that are going to be super, super cool, is going to allow you to take these lead magnets and deploy them to multiple pages quickly and split test and all these different things. And the ability to be able to deploy those quickly and test them quickly and find out if you have a winner or a loser. And hey, most of the time they're going to be losers. That's the point of testing. And so it really allows you to take the lead magnets diversification, deploy them quickly to the digital assets, whether that be a funnel from HighLevel, whether that be the website, whether that be Facebook ads going to a funnel or whatever it might be. And again, the keyword quickly and being able to do split testing, that's the name of the game. So from beginning to end, when you come up with a killer idea on a lead magnet, you should be able to create that lead magnet and have it deployed on your site within 24 to 48 hours.
You mentioned something when we were talking earlier that really jumped out at me. You feel like, oh, I'm watching the news and I'm like, that's going to be a really hot topic.
Yeah.
You'll go bang out a lead magnet around that, which I think is genius. But I think, again, it speaks to the state of the industry. Most marketers are using the same funnel, the same lead magnet they've been using for 5 years for every client because it's more scalable, right? Now, with tools like HighLevel, you can bang out a lead magnet and a funnel in 15 minutes. And so I love this idea of staying timely, looking for things in pop culture, in the news, what's happening right now, and quickly building offers around that. I think that's genius.
Well, one of the things in our industry is that we are constantly, can't stop learning, and we're like crackheads for it. So anytime there's a new tool or something there, go out there and put together a lead magnet. Why HighLevel kicks whatever, does a great job in this or whatever it might be, because guess what? Half of our industry is going to be doing, or obviously you need to be doing this for your industry. They're going to go to Google and they're going to type that in, and they're going to go to Facebook and type that in. So run some Facebook ads around it.
Well, it just makes so much sense. What popped into my mind when you said the news was, I remember, when I grew up in Philadelphia, outside of Philly, and, every now and then you get like polar vortexes coming, and terms like that. It's like, boom, you could knock out a funnel around, if let's say you work with HVAC, a polar vortex funnel is so timely. And so it's just a great example of what we're talking about.
How does solar vortex, how can it damage my roof, or can my pipes freeze up, or
right? Are you ready?
6 things to keep your HVAC from getting struck by the polar vortex, or hypothetical, or whatever it might be, and then run ads to it, and get it out there and go. And they're like, oh wait, I saw a polar vortex. What does that mean? Click it, boom, go. So,
yeah. All right,
works
awesome.
Great, I'm telling you, it works really well.
So let's talk about the third topic that we had from your program here. We're talking about basically KPIs and reporting. Now, I feel like a lot, especially for young marketers, reporting is like, oh man, it's like the thing that nobody wants to do, right? It's often hard to pull it together. How often do you show it? What if it's not a great report and my client's expecting it? What do I do then? All these topics. So tell us what you teach around reporting.
Well, there are 2 facets to this. One of them is going to be your KPI reporting for your inner working for your agency, click-through rates, open rates, ad spends, things like that, right? And that used to be a major pain in the butt. And you had to be a pretty sizable agency to even have the infrastructure in place to do that. Mm-hmm. That's no longer the case. Okay.
No, so now we surface it right in HighLevel. Back to your campaign.
Are you kidding me, man? Just apply the lead source on the entry point. At that point, associate revenue back to it. Game over. You know what I'm talking about? It really is that easy. Okay. Now, on the reporting side for agency owners to go to their clients, a lot of people definitely say, oh, it's too hard. My clients don't like them. They don't even open them. They don't read them, or whatever it might be. Okay. All of that is an excuse. And I'm telling you right now that they do read them. And even if they only read them once a year, it provides enough value to keep them on that monthly retainer for probably another 6 months. That report is the physical manifestation of all of the hard work you have been doing. That's like buying a house, going to the lot that you paid to have the house built on, and there's no damn house there. So they have spent $25,000 with you to set up a Google AdWords campaign and another $100,000 in ad spend. And meanwhile, you don't have the time to do a report. Something about that doesn't make sense to me. Okay. Now, another part in the reporting side is that you need to have multiple levels. Everybody just kind of throws reports into one big bucket. Well, you can do a Facebook Insights or a Google AdWords Analytics automated report, custom built for $47 a month. You go in there one time, you custom build it out with all the different, the pieces of the puzzle they want, and it's automated. It sends out every month, $47 or $97, whatever you want to do. Okay. And you maintain it. If something breaks, you fix it or whatever kind of thing. Next level up, it's going to be like what's called a real-time KPI dashboard. And they're available in a lot of different CRMs. There are a lot of third-party apps you can bolt onto them, which is very cool. Then you have the next level above that, like in what's called the Improvidoos and the AWS,
Google BigQuery, that kind of stuff.
The BigQuery, exactly. That's the big boys. And that one takes a lot of setup and management. So to get into that, you're talking about a $5,000 to $10,000 engagement just to set it up. And then another probably $1,500 to $2,000 a month just to maintain and manage it. So think through the reporting and how that can become not only a huge value add to keep them from churning, to keep your attrition rates very low, but it can become a very high monthly reoccurring revenue profit center for you if you structure it in like a good, better, best. Give them the option, right? You want good, better, or best. Give them the option. Don't think that they just want a simple little report. Some people might want to have an advanced report that you shoot 2 or 3 videos explaining what you see. This is very popular. We'll put Hotjar on their site, and then there are videos that come. You can record the users, right? And so then they just want the expertise of Lee or Chase or Sean or whoever to go in there and record a video showing them what you see. This is what's happening here. This is what's happening here. And people love that. And it takes you 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes. It's like it's nothing, right? But you can do that for $197 a month. We'll download the top 10 videos We'll aggregate the data into heat mapping, and we'll run one poll or survey a month to your existing base. Everything I just said takes you all of 30 minutes a month to do.
That's really interesting. And you're right. Like Hotjar, they've been around forever.
Yeah.
I hardly ever think about it. And they do have polling, and it's something to go back to every month and say, yep, this month's poll, here's the data. It's right in line with last month's. We are on track. Or maybe it's not.
Here's the heat mapping. And then here are 5 video recordings. And I want you to notice in these recordings, these people are there. They draw a line where the mouse goes. And you'll see, if you watch enough of those videos, if you see a mouse kind of jumping up and down, they're like, which way, where do I go? What do I do? We all do it. Which way do I go? Well, I'm not sure which way to go. You have a usability problem. Something is confusing them.
That's really a great point. And for people that don't know, you sign up with something in Hotjar, it gives you a script, you drop it into HighLevel in the header or whatever, and it will track whatever page or all the pages in the funnel. That's really interesting, something to think about. It's not expensive.
There's a free version, but for the agencies, you'll need to step up, I think, to the $39 a month version or whatever, something like that. But you get, I can't remember, I think it's like 10 or 15 different accounts. So it'll pay for itself if you just sell one thing. We're going to do one survey or poll, one aggregate of heat mapping, and I'll review up to 5 videos. Up to 5 videos. I'll shoot a 1-minute video on each one of these videos. Put all that into a document, send it over to them, and they think you walk on water, literally. I mean, they're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a great point. And what jumped into my head when you were going through that was you got to show your work, right? Yes. A lot of what we do as marketers, like you said, it's like magic to a business owner. They have no clue about how long it takes to build an ad campaign or retargeting or any of this kind of stuff. And in your mind, you're like, yeah, they just understand that I do a lot of work. Well, they don't unless you show it to them, right?
That's exactly right. Yep. You have to physically manifest what you do in our industry, which is exactly opposite of pretty much all other industries. That's also why in my project management framework, you have to physically get them to sign documents, and every time I say that to an agency owner, they're like, oh my gosh, can't we do this digitally? And you can do it with DocuSign. But the point is that they are having to sign a legal agreement stating that they have quality assured it. They are signing off of it at the time. That's the pain point.
Yeah.
So you have to interject pain into the process of the deliverables and also into the sales process to make sure that it's not, it's not just clicking a button. I mean, they do think that's what we do. They think we just click a button and clone something and it's magic, right? And
now that's a piece of advice that you only know if you've been doing it for years, right? And I can remember back to when we ran an agency in the beginning, it was like, no, reduce friction. We don't want to drive customers away because our process is so crazy and this and that. You do it for a couple of years, you're like, nope. The onboarding, it's going to take 3 times as long. It's going to be 3 times as thorough.
We're going to get everything up front. We're going to put the pain in the front. And if they can't handle the onboarding phase, fire them, get them out of there.
Yeah, because if you're not on the same page from the beginning, it's a recipe for disaster.
It is big time.
So Lee, it sounds like you're a wealth of these types of tidbits. If people are listening and they're like, I want to learn more from this guy, marketingagencycoach.com, that's where they should head.
That's where they should head. I also got a very active Facebook group. Actually,
what's that called?
It's digital. What's it here? Give me a good second here. Marketing Agency Success GPS. But if you go to my website, there's a exit intent there, and there's different. There's all. If you get in my circle, you'll run across it. So it's about 2,400 like-minded agency owners that are all tackling the day-to-day issues. So. Best places for sure to start is marketingagencycoach.com, and then from there everything bleeds out from there. So
great domain. Well, thanks again for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you in the next episode.